have always been a shy person. It's not so visible anymore, but it's still there. Inside, I'm shy. I was also a shy child, but I was a shy child so eager to discover life. I was in such a hurry to learn how to read and write, to learn how to ride a bicycle. I wanted everything now. So for me, growth has always been both a very appealing thing and a very scary thing. And I actually think that that is what growth is. Because growth always means you enter a territory where you have never been before. You enter a part of yourself that is unknown. And that is scary, because you may even lose yourself. Now, when I was 3 years old, a toddler, a very playful toddler, my hobby was getting lost. So me and my best friend, would go out into our little neighborhood, and we would reach the furthest street we still knew. And then we would go beyond that, and we were lost. And that was both, thrilling, exciting, and also scary. And it sometimes ended in tears, of course. Another story, when I was a child, I often had a strange pain in my left leg. And sometimes I would wake up in the middle of the night, and the pain would be so bad that I would call for my mother or father, and they would come and rub this lotion, sit next to my bed, rub this lotion on the leg until the pain went away. It always took a long time. And according to my parents, these were growing pains, which makes sense, I was a child and I was growing. Now, the strange thing is that sometimes, I'm now 36, and sometimes when I'm very busy and I'm overwhelmed, I still wake up with this strange pain in my left leg. But maybe it's not so strange. Maybe growth still is a painful process. Maybe growing hurts. This still surprises me. And I still feel as if I shouldn't feel this way, as if growing shouldn't hurt, as if maybe I'm doing something wrong, because I open Facebook, I look at it, and all my friends seem to be having a good time. So maybe I'm doing something wrong. But then I do the same thing, so I just put a message on Facebook, I'm here at TEDxApeldoorn, first there's a horse, then there's me. So, I'm also creating this rosy image of myself. And it doesn't feel so good, because I think we have so many more interesting things, to talk about. So many more interesting stories to share about ourselves. Stories about how we deal with pain. How do we deal with hardship? How do we share these things? Where do we find beauty when life becomes hard? Those are very real things. And there's another thing that bothers me, and that is how these days politicians also paint this very rosy image of our national identity. It's all, Wilhelmus, and all beautiful history, and all beautiful values, and everything like that. And they even use Christianity to say, we have all the good norms, we take care of the right people, we love everyone. And as a theologian, I think that's wrong. In fact, I think to hell with all of these rosy pictures, because that's not who we are. And as a theologian, I also know that Christianity in our area doesn't have this beautiful history. Christianity was very, very limiting for a lot of people. It didn't enable growth in many cases. Now, a friend told me only last week, it seems strange that you are a theologian, because theologians aren't really known for being very innovative. So I said, yeah, I know, that's the image we have to deal with, and I also know that sometimes it's true. Theology can be very limiting. Actually, sometimes it seems that it's more about limiting people than about enabling people to grow. But I also have a different story to tell. I am a theologian because I love growth. And I love challenge. And I love doing that. And I also love theology. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I think actually these two work very well together. So for me, religion is an invitation to transform. For me, religion is about telling honest stories about yourself, telling the whole story, and being able to go to the places where you are hurt, where you are afraid, and also to be able to share those stories with a group of people. Can we listen to some music, maybe? What did you feel listening to this music? It's Anwar Brahem, it's a lute player. And I used to listen to this music a few years ago while I was finishing my dissertation. Now, writing a dissertation is a hell of a job. You know, you have done these, I see someone nodding there in the audience. Thank you for recognizing, you know, the painful process of labor that a dissertation is. You've done all this research and then you have to write a book, and all the knowledge and everything has to be in the book in the right place, using the right words. So I was listening to this music, and at the time I felt, you know, close to a nervous breakdown. I was doubting whether I would ever succeed, whether it would ever be a work that was worthwhile, and I was very, very stressed. Now, when I listened to this music just now, I realized that my response is so different. So I feel thankful and emotional. So apparently something has transformed in the way I now look back on this period. And I realize that actually what seemed to be such a horrible period of nervous breakdown, in fact, was a process of growth. And I'm... you know, and I kind of think, who was the woman, you know, writing this dissertation? How did she manage to do all these things? But she did, and apparently it's me. So it's, you know, and I learned so many things from that, and that's a beautiful thing. But it also makes clear to me that growth, you know, it involves pain, it involves a lot of patience, a lot of endurance, and it also takes courage, you know, to endure. Not to step back, not to give up, but just to continue every single day in that process. So I want to close with a story from the Bible, because I'm a biblical scholar. The dissertation was on the Old Testament, actually, religion and conflict, if you're interested. And the story is from the book of Genesis, Adam and Eve. They're familiar, right? So often, the story is told kind of as a negative story. So there's paradise, there's, you know, the first set of humans, Adam and Eve. There's the tree of knowledge of good and wrong. And Eve, stupidly, you know, plucks a fruit from the tree and gives it to Adam. Or I think she first takes a bite and then gives it to Adam. And then everything goes wrong, wrong, wrong. Now, I think there's a different way of reading this narrative, and that is a narrative of growth. Because when you think of it, paradise is horrible. It's like an all-inclusive vacation. You know, there's not much to do. There are not any decisions to be made. And you cannot grow, because everything will stay the same. It's horrible. So, you know, plucking the fruit and eating from it That's the decision to become an adult, I think. And then real life starts, and real life in the way, we know it now. So it comes with hardship, it comes with responsibility, it comes with the need to make choices. And it comes with the possibility of growth. And that, I think, is an extraordinary beautiful thing. So I wish all of us many, many processes of growth. Thank you very much.